Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in to our YouTube channel on today, Friday the 8th of October. I trust you're all keeping well and looking forward to the weekend. Now, for our thought for today, I'd like us to think for a minute about distractions. We all lead very busy lives, and sometimes the things that we want to focus on, well, we get distracted from. Of course, we can be distracted by things that are not too wholesome, things that are downright sinful, things that are wrong, but we can also get distracted by very many legitimate things as well. As I said, we all lead busy lives and there's things that we have to attend to, and sometimes when we attend to everything, well, it leaves very little time over for anything else. And of course, the real danger is for ourselves as Christians. It's very easy to squeeze the Lord out of our lives because simply life is just so busy. We very often leave Him to the end of the day. We want to do a bit of reading, a bit of praying, a bit of studying, and by the time the end of the day comes, we can just be too tired to give Him the respect and the time and the attention that He deserves. I know we point the finger at our young people nowadays and we say that they're getting very distracted. And yes, with all the technology and all the things that are about nowadays for our young people, that is a real danger. But it's not limited exclusively. Distractions aren't limited exclusively to our young people. Now, to explain this or to illustrate this, I'm afraid you're going to have to listen to me going back to my school days again. I know I've already been there for a few times recently, so please bear with me. You may not have heard this particular illustration, but I remember telling you, as I said not very long ago, that I was introduced to the Spanish language in grammar school. And I remember learning, and back in the day, we used to learn a lot of things by rote, just repeating things endlessly until they finally sunk in. There's strengths in that, and there's weaknesses in that as well. I know that type of learning isn't just as popular nowadays. But anyway, we were being taught some basic Spanish phrases by rote, just as a way of being introduced to the language to start us off. And one of the phrases we had to learn has stuck with me. Some of the strengths of learning by rote, I suppose. But if you bear with me, just I'll give you the Spanish and then the translation, of course. But this is what was drummed into us. And as I said, the teacher did a good job because it's still in my mind. The Spanish phrase in question is, ¿Por dónde se va a la Plaza Mayor? How do you get to the main square? Okay, so the idea was that if you ever find yourself in Spain, you can ask for the main square. Spain, it seems to be, no matter what size the town or the village or the city, every one of those seems to have a main square, a focal point for the whole town. We don't seem to have that in our country. So teacher thought that this would be a very useful phrase. You find yourself in any town in Spain and you can ask for the main square. Now, I had the cheek to put my hand up and ask the teacher, Sir, what do you do if you don't want to go to the main square? And he just looked at me and very forcefully said, You're going to the main square. End of conversation. Now, anyway, fast forward, I'm not joking you, fast forward about 40 years, okay? And I find myself in Madrid, doing the first of those long walks I told you about. I flew to Madrid and then had to go on down to Seville. But I flew into Madrid, and there I was exiting the airport. And if, well, you take my word for it if you don't know it, but the bus station or the bus stand is like about 10 feet from the exit of the airport in Madrid. So it's very handily placed. And I just wanted to go out and get a breath of fresh air. So as I walked through this exit before going somewhere else, I looked at the first bus. And lo and behold, what was the destination of that bus? It said Plaza Mayor, the main square. And I immediately thought, away back to my school days, when this was drummed into me, how do you get to the main square? And here is a bus outside the airport that will take me to the main square. So I had no idea where the main square was. I had no idea how far away it was. But there's a very good system in Madrid whereby you pay €2 on a bus and it will take you as far as you want. As long as you stay on the bus, you don't have to pay any more. So you want to go 1 or 2 stops, it's €2. You want to go right across the city, it's €2. So I hopped on the bus with all my gear. I paid my €2 and I sat there until we arrived at the main square about 40 or 50 minutes later. And I got out, and I'm so glad that I did go to the main square, because maybe some of you have been there. It's absolutely magnificent. It's huge. There's a wonderful statue in the centre of it all, and it's a focal point for one of the focal points for the city of Madrid. So I made that journey, I suppose in homage or in remembrance, in memory of my late Spanish teacher. And I could have got off at many of the other stops along the way. Many of the stops were famous attractions in Madrid. But I wanted to go to the main square, so I stayed on the bus until I got there. And as I said, I was so glad that I did. Now, you may wonder why I'm telling you all this. Well, not much further to go, and it's really quite simple. Friends, as believers, as followers of the Lord Jesus Christ, we are going to our Plaza Mayor. We are going to our main square. We are going to glory. That's our destination. And we need not to be distracted. We need to focus on our destination and not get off at all these other stops along the way, which will lead us down blind alleys, which will take us away from where we want to go. We really do need to be focused. And if we are focused, we don't get distracted, we will be there. There's nothing wrong with me getting off that bus and looking at other places. That's not a sinful thing to do, but it does distract from the main thrust of my journey. So I stayed focused. I didn't get off the bus until I got to my destination, and it was worth it. It was more than worth it. So heaven will be exactly like that as well. We stay focused, we don't get sidetracked, we will end up at our destination, and I promise you, it will be more than worth the effort and the blocking out of those distractions to get where ultimately we will be going. So there you have it, perhaps a little light and frothy, but just remember the central thrust of what I'm trying to say. We are on our way to glory. Don't let anything distract you. Keep your focus, and won't it be great when we all arrive there together? What a party we'll have. Okay, on that hopefully uplifting note, I will sign off for now. I'll encourage you to keep praying, to keep worshipping, to keep looking up, and keep tuning into our channel as well. Monday, Wednesday and Friday, posted about 9 p.m. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Until then, bye for now.